Thank you. Well, we're happy to see everyone here today. It's a very important topic. We have to talk about pedestrian safety. Today I'm with my partner, Mr. John Palmer. You would be very surprised and astonished by the high volume of numbers, statistical rise of accidents that involve cars hitting people. Pedestrians are people not in cars. We're walking. So right now I'm a pedestrian. I'm not in my car. I'm on foot. Some things that we could do to make ourselves safer is very simple. One, everybody's in the phone. Guess what we shouldn't do with the smartphone when walking? We shouldn't be reading the text or being distracted when walking. You will be surprised how quickly you can merge to the right or merge to the left, especially when you're on the sidewalk. So you want to stay away from texting. You want to stay away from talking on the phone while walking. What color does red mean when you see a light? Any of the kids? What does red mean?
To stop.
To stop. Don't go. Stop. What does green mean? You know what green means?
To go.
To go. You get a high five too. Okay? Excellent. So let me ask you a question, young lady. If I'm at the stop sign, the stoplight, and my friends are playing across the street, and I really want to get there fast because I want them to pick me because they're picking teams, and I want to go fast, and I look and I say, well, there's no cars. I think I'm going to run across the street, but it says red, but I'm a really fast runner. Should I run on the red light and go across the street?
No.
No, why not?
Because the other cars through the other line are going.
Absolutely. And that light means stop, so don't do it.
First and foremost, slow down. Speed is the number one collision factor out there when there's vehicle accidents. Speed. It's mostly speed and inattention to the roadways. Look out for others. Constantly keep your eye out, not only on the cars but also pedestrians. There's a lot of pedestrians here in Oakland, so you gotta keep your eye out not only for cars but for other people as well. Don't drive distracted. I know a lot of people like to drink their soda or their coffee in the morning or whatever it might be. That's fine, but also be aware that you're only using one hand at that time, and to really avoid a collision, you're going to need both hands to avoid a collision, whether it's you have a stick shift and you're downshifting, or just having two hands on the steering wheel. Share the road, not only pedestrians, but also kids and adults on bikes. It is their road too. They have to obey the law. They have to obey the rules of the road just as you do. So share the road with them and make sure you're cautious of the bikes on the roadway. This is hands down. Don't drink and drive. Obviously, we all know that. We all know the outcome of drinking and driving. It's never good. It's never a good outcome. And another thing, when you are stopped at a stoplight and you're that first car at that crosswalk, you see those people that are stopped right in the middle of the crosswalk. Well, pedestrians now have to come out of the crosswalk, which is a whole other danger because there's cars going in the opposite direction, and you have a really bad situation.
Use the crosswalks. Use the crosswalks. If there's a crosswalk and say it's 20 feet away, and right here there's no crosswalk, but I can run across the street to my friend's house, don't take that route. Use the crosswalks because it helps drivers. They sort of get it. That area sort of gets their attention, and they start to look for people walking instead of areas where there's no crosswalks. Use the crosswalks. And at nighttime, let's talk about nighttime very briefly. If you're walking at night and it's not a well-lit area, there's nothing wrong with having a flashlight. You can just have a flashlight and point it down as you walk so they can see, that you're illuminated, see your shoes, see your pants, see your silhouette. First of all, if you guys have any reckless driving in your neighborhoods, please call. Don't feel like it's not a good thing to call or it's going to be too late of a response. The only thing that is too late is we never get the information. The more information we get, the more we're fueled with having a solution to possibly solving that situation. Pedestrian safety is of importance.
Does a pedestrian still have the right of way when they step off the curb?
Just because I'm a pet, I can't say, I'm just going to walk right now. If you see a car and this car stops, say, in front of your house, and he stopped, and then he's already starting to go, or say he's traveled 10 feet, I can't just say, I'm going to go now. Because then that's a violation for the pedestrian, believe it or not, which is called pet against pet sudden from the curb, or we have what's called pet against red, where you get pedestrians going against the red light. So there's even tickets, believe it or not, for pedestrians as well. So you have to actually wait till it's safe to do so, and then you can go ahead and go on the roadway, but you just can't do it without doing due diligence, looking both ways, making sure the road is clear and then going. But you just can't go sudden from the curb.
Are there tickets that if you go against the red light?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's against the law then?
Absolutely. Everybody knows jaywalking is usually the most popular one,
Right.
but beyond jaywalking, ped from red, walking from a red light when you're not supposed to, ped against the wait signal when the hand is doing this, it's the pumping red, there's violations for that. You name it, ped suddenly from the curb, ped standing in the roadway, there's Oakland Municipal Code sections for just people standing in the street. Yeah, no, so pedestrians have to abide by the law as well. So just like there's citations for the driver, there's also citations for the pedestrian.
When you see the red lights going on police and fire, it is definitely emergency. It's a serious matter. So when you guys are out in the street, remember I've had citizens slow down instead of them speeding up so that they can get out of harm's way. Now this is a huge fire truck and it doesn't stop on the dime, as well as the police cars, because they're trying to get somewhere, and the main reason we're getting them somewhere is somebody is in dire needs. Somebody can't breathe, somebody could be bleeding. It's serious. So, when you get home, when you talk to your loved ones, tell them, don't mess around when you see the fire and the police trying to get somewhere. Get out their way and make sure everyone else gets out their way. And as far as the young people are concerned, you young people have to pay attention, especially when you're in these crosswalks. And just like the officer says, do not assume that the car sees you. Wait until you know that you have made eye contact and that they do see you. It's better for you to wait than for you to go out there and get hit. Let them go. And then when it's safe, then you guys proceed. But make sure that you make eye contact with anybody driving, as on bicycles, motorcycles, and the whole 9 yards. Anything out there on wheels, you guys make sure that you're paying attention. And one other thing that you guys might want to take note, the elderly. Look out for the elderly as well when they're crossing the street for help. And the main thing, I like to let everyone know that even if you see someone you don't even know and looks like they're in harm's way, try to do what you can to say, hey, hold on, that truck's coming, that car is coming, or something, because they may not be aware. And so we want to look out for each other. You little people, we want to make sure you guys are off the street. And if you're not, you be with the adults or be with the older kids so that somebody is watching them at all times. Like I said, I was driving the fire truck down 66th Ave, and I had probably a 5-year-old on the sidewalk, and he was in the crosswalk, on the curb, getting ready to cross, and at the last second, he darts right across the street in front of this big old fire truck. And needless to say, my heart went all the way up into my throat. But I had seen him, and what drivers need to do is when you see people like this, you want to take your foot off of the gas and put it over the brake. That just takes away time that you need to make the apparatus stop. And time is precious. And I just had my foot over the brake anyway, so when he did that, it was an automatic reaction to just hit the brake, and so it worked out. But it's just to let you guys know that these things do happen and that you really want to be aware when people are crossing, even, when they're doing it illegally and just in the sidewalk. If you see them out there, take your foot off of the gas and just cover the brake. You don't have to be on it, but be close to it for the unknowns. And it helped us out that day. And so, I just want to reemphasize that and to let the little children know that the mothers and the fathers and the older children, please watch out for the little people. Please, when they're 5 and 6, they're not as sharp as they should be, and you want to be very careful about letting them be out there in harm's way like that. It's more practical to kind of, hold on to their hand and make sure that they get across the street before you turn them loose. I know we're teaching independence and all, but everybody wants their babies to come home safely.